Welcome to Open History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more video like this one.
In the shadows of occupation, love and survival blurred. Around 200,000 French children were born to German fathers during World War II, silent witnesses to a war that divided nations yet bound lives in unexpected ways. On an autumn day in 1992, a woman's skeleton was found along the Schuylkill River in Pennsylvania. No name, no voice, only a watch on her wrist and a story buried in silence. Decades later, her identity remains a mystery. In 1976, Anelise Michael died at 23, weighing just 68 pounds. Her final years were consumed by brutal exorcisms, not healing. What was seen as a battle with demons was in truth a tragedy of faith and suffering. During World War II, Harley-Davidson's WLA roared across battlefields. Soldiers trained not just to ride, but to survive. One drill taught them to lay the bike down fast and turn it into instant cover when bullets started flying. In 1985, France, daring balloonists ascended into the skies, chasing adventure, scientific observation, and the thrill of floating above a rapidly changing world. Inside the Cairo Museum lies Ramses II, the great ancestor. His golden sandals were made so he could walk as a god for eternity. Though his empire turned to dust, his preserved face still commands the room. Greatness doesn't vanish, it transforms. In the frozen silence of Antarctica, 1911, explorers T. Griffith Taylor and Charles S. Wright stood inside an iceberg grotto, a cathedral of ice. Their journey carved human footprints into one of Earth's last frontiers. This striking image uses forced perspective to exaggerate size. In reality, Scolopendra subspinapennes rarely exceed 8 inches, and even then they are far from the largest of the giant centipede species. Chief Warrant Officer Gunter Billing of the Skorzeny Special Brigade was tied to a picket before his execution near Herbestal. His unit had worn American uniforms during the Ardennes Offensive in December 1944. In December 2003, U.S. forces found Saddam Hussein hiding in a 6-foot-deep spider hole near Tikrit. Once a feared dictator, he was captured, disheveled, and unarmed, a stark fall from the palaces he once ruled. John Brower Mennick, born 1941, became the heaviest human ever recorded. Battling extreme weight and health issues, he lost 924 pounds under medical care, but passed in 1983 at 798 pounds, leaving a story of courage and resilience. In July 1944, French resistance members were captured by the Milice, a brutal Vichy paramilitary group armed with captured British weapons, feared for their ruthless suppression of resistance and collaboration with Nazi Germany. In the 1870s, on lonely cattle drives, men danced together in dim-lit barns wearing red handkerchiefs to play the ladies' part. Laughter, fiddles, and fleeting joy broke the endless solitude of the open plains. The Old Gentleman of Rae, an 18th-century seal leather diving suit, stands as the world's oldest surviving example. Preserved at Rae Museum, it reflects the ingenuity and maritime heritage of early Finnish underwater exploration. In July 1987, 41-year-old Donald Trump visited Moscow on the invitation of Soviet Ambassador Yuri Dubinin. Exploring a potential hotel project, the trip marked an early step into global business and hinted at future political ambitions. A classical Greek bust of Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, stands beside a modern woman whose features echo the same ideal. Across millennia, the pursuit of grace, elegance, and timeless beauty endures in Greek culture. King George VI and King Elizabeth, captured in a moment of quiet dignity. Their reign spanned turbulent times, including World War II, embodying resilience, duty, and the enduring presence of the British monarchy in the 20th century. Sarapalata, Brazil, 1979, a gold nugget sparked a rush that turned a village into a chaotic open-pit nightmare. Tens of thousands labored in heat and mud, risking death for a chance at wealth, captured hauntingly by photographer Sebastian Salgado. Captain Jack Bonavita, the one-armed lion tamer of the early 20th century, faced danger daily. In 1917, a polar bear attack in Brooklyn claimed his life, cementing his legend as a fearless performer who gave everything to his craft. In 1863, an unknown Union officer gestures with thumbing the nose, a playful yet biting sign of mockery dating back centuries. Even in the chaos of war, humor and defiance found their moments in fleeting gestures. A snowy New York City around 1899. Horses and wagons laboriously hauled and dumped snow into the river. A glimpse of a time when clearing streets relied on sheer manpower and animal strength before modern machinery arrived. Maurice Simpson, living with neurofibromatosis type 1, faced massive facial tumors and loss of vision. Despite this, he worked, raised 5 children, and underwent life-changing surgeries documented in My Brand New Face. Hidden 185 million years in Dorset cliffs, the sword dragon ichthyosaur emerges. Its blade-like snout and jaw scar reveal a fierce hunter of Jurassic seas, showing evolution's precision in ancient ocean battles. In 1991, Leningrad prison cells were overcrowded and grim. Inmates endured freezing winters, meager rations, poor ventilation, and disease, trapped in a penal system prioritizing control over care. High above the clouds, Sergeant Leo Stotzenberger captured the last moments of the bomber Extra Joker. 10 young airmen perished in midair, and his haunting photo became a stark reminder of war's true cost. In 1935, Britain saw a piano designed for those on bed rest. Its unique construction allowed patients to play music while lying down, offering comfort, creativity, and a rare escape from illness. In 1953, Elizabeth Taylor, just beginning her rise to Hollywood stardom, captured the world's attention with her striking beauty and piercing violet eyes, hinting at the legendary career that awaited her. During a 100-kilometer ultra-marathon, Australian model Turia Pitt was trapped in a grass fire, suffering burns on 65% of her body. Her recovery became a testament to resilience and the unwavering devotion of her partner. In ancient Taposiris Magna, a golden tongue was placed for the deceased, granting divine speech in the afterlife. This woman's gilded voice would guide her words before Osiris, shaping her eternal destiny. This French soldier wears splinter goggles and layered steel armor hidden beneath his tunic, with a steel dagger gauntlet ready for close combat. A glimpse into the ingenuity of wartime protection. A hand-colored portrait by Felice Beato captures a Japanese samurai between 1863 and 1877, showcasing the elegance of traditional armor, the weight of duty, and the enduring spirit of Bushido in every detail. Maurice Tillet, known as the French Angel, poses with his wife Olga. A wrestling legend of the 1940s and two-time world heavyweight champion, some believe he inspired Shrek's iconic look. In the early 1900s, Victorian ladies practiced equestrian skills seated side-saddle on a motorized riding machine, a blend of refinement, training, and the era's fascination with mechanical innovation. On June 28, 1975, President Gerald Ford showcased his playful side, juggling a ball for football legend Pelé in the White House Rose Garden, a rare moment of sport and diplomacy. Touch the Clouds, Minneconjou Lakota chief, was known for his bravery, strength, and diplomacy. Leading his people through the Great Sioux War and beyond, he safeguarded their future until his death in 1905. In 1961, Louis Armstrong brought music, joy, and love to Egypt, performing an intimate concert for his wife. Amid the notes of jazz, the world's most famous trumpeter shared not just melodies, but moments of devotion and celebration. In 1989, Costa Rican fisherman Chito Shedden rescued a dying crocodile named Pocho. Over decades, they formed an extraordinary bond, swimming, performing, and sharing trust, a story of love and loyalty between man and beast. In 1918, Charlie Chaplin stood before Federal Hall on Wall Street, a playful yet poignant reminder of his ability to blend humor with social commentary, capturing the spirit of an era through a single iconic pose. Circa 1960, a young Freddie Mercury at his school in Bombay. Long before the stages of superstardom, here was the boy whose curiosity, charisma, and passion for music would one day electrify the world. In the 1930s Japan, schoolgirls were trained in shooting as part of a nationwide emphasis on preparedness and discipline. Education intertwined with militaristic skills in a changing society. A 1.4-million-year-old jawbone from South Africa reveals a previously unknown human relative, rewriting our understanding of evolution and showing that multiple species once coexisted. Before the gallows, an 18-year-old heroine faced the Nazis, pointing at their faces and uttering a prophecy that would echo across centuries, a timeless testament to bravery, defiance, and unbroken spirit. On 23 March 1945, in Arras, France, U.S. 17th Airborne paratroopers with Mohawk-style haircuts gather for a briefing before their daring jump across the Rhine. Bold, defiant, and ready to face the dangers ahead, these soldiers embodied courage in the final months of World War II. In 1926, 101-year-old Ezelphia Mary Watt Flynn gazes calmly into history. As the wife of an Underground Railroad conductor, she offered refuge, warmth, and hope, quietly shaping the journey to freedom for countless enslaved individuals. Robert Huza, known as Major Littlefinger, was a circus performer just 3 foot 6 inches tall. With his wife Anna Kay Buster and their son Buster, they toured as the smallest living family, captivating audiences with charm, talent, and a unique family story. In 1903, American photographer James Rickelton captured a rare moment with the so-called cashmere giants. Towering and imposing, these two remarkable men posed for the camera, leaving a glimpse of extraordinary human diversity at the turn of the century. In 1943 London, a newly designed baby mask provided infants with fresh air during air raids. Equipped with a hand pump, it reflected wartime innovation, protecting the youngest amidst the dangers of the Blitz. In 1935, Margaret Berkwhite White captured the world from above, photographing from the top of a building. A pioneering photojournalist, she broke barriers for women in photography while framing history from dizzying heights. In November 2020, skateboarder Brooklyn Curie was attacked by a pitbull in Arizona, losing her upper lip and part of her nose. Multiple surgeries since have rebuilt her face and restored its function. In 1944, British airman Nicholas Alcamaide fell 18,000 feet from a burning plane without a parachute, landing in pine trees and snow, and survived with only a sprained leg, a miraculous escape. In 1947, Arctic explorer Peter Freuchen posed alongside his third wife, Dagmar Freuchen-Gale, a partnership that reflected both his adventurous life and the personal bonds that sustained him through extreme exploration. On 22 August 1944, French soldiers, including Senegalese troops, lined up German prisoners of war in Hyères, southeastern France, a moment reflecting both liberation efforts and the diverse forces fighting against occupation. A French colonial soldier captured during Germany's May-June 1940 offensive stands as a reminder of the bravery of troops from Africa, Madagascar, and Indochina who faced both war and harsh treatment as prisoners. In 1914, Mary Ann Bevan entered a contest labeled the ugliest woman in the world, not for fame, but to survive after losing her husband, showing courage to secure her children's future against cruel odds. In 1939, Lucille Ball starred in Five Came Back, an air disaster film. This publicity still captures her poised and dramatic, hinting at the tension of a plane crash in a remote South American jungle. In 1885, Silverton, Elias Gray, wrongfully jailed for 5 years, escaped and faced the gang who ruined his life. Chains broken, bullets fired, justice was served his way, and then he vanished into legend. In 1877, Billy the Kid was captured on a tintype playing cards with companions. Only one of 2 verified photos of the outlaw reveals a rare human glimpse behind the legend of the Old West. In 2003, a U.S. Marine used his helmet as a decoy to draw fire from an Iraqi sniper. In the close-quarters urban warfare of Iraq, such tactics were vital for locating hidden threats and staying alive.
Thanks for watching. Got an idea for a forgotten era I should explore? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to make it.